Today's show is brought to you by FlexJobs. At FlexJobs, you can find flexible work at home, real jobs available in a host of different fields that you can apply for. Now, to get access to the application, you have to create an account, but it has jobs in HR, recruiting, graphic design, bilingual positions, sales. There's lots of different categories of positions that are available. So use the link in the show notes, go to FlexJobs, and see what they have for you for flexible work. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Episode 2088 of the #1 podcast and Apple Podcast for Job Search. You are listening to No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I so like this Monday to Friday schedule instead of the 7 days a week I was doing before. I got a lot to do, and I'm working on a release schedule for my next book, so the idea that I don't have to do 2 more shows is a huge help to me. And this one, I believe, will be a good help for many of you who make the mistake of using acronyms in your resume. Hope you find this helpful. Hope you give it a great review wherever you listen to the show. And we'll be back in just one moment. But first, enjoy the weekend! Today's show is brought to you by Skillshare.com. At Skillshare.com, they have thousands of classes available, not just simply about business or job hunting, but lots of different classes on a host of different subjects. Almost anything you can think of, and they have one low price associated with your learning. They have classes about particular technologies you can learn, pottery, public speaking. I have a half dozen of my classes about job hunting there. Writing, photography, film, almost anything you can think of, they have Skillshare classes available. Now, if you use my link, thebiggameHunter.us/Skillshare, they'll offer a free trial and 30% off if you decide to join. There's a lot to learn, and Skillshare is a place where you can learn it. Now, let's get back to today's show. Today, I want to give you some no BS resume advice. Some very straightforward, direct advice that'll help you get more results. Now, I have other videos on my website, jeffaltman.com, and on YouTube that deals with resumes. This is the 5th one that I'm doing on the subject. And I want to be blunt with you because being nice isn't real helpful. Being polite may not be helpful to you. So I just want to hit you right between the eyes with a 2x4 and tell you that for most of you, your resumes are boring as all hell. They're acronym-laden items that really tell me nothing. So I'll give you the worst-case scenario. You're in one field, I'm going to say banking. You have a transferable skill that might exist in insurance or manufacturing or some other field. And you send the same resume that's tailored to a banking organization to firms in these other fields. It's acronym laden with terms that only really relate to banking. Who do you think is going to give you an interview with that kind of a resume? What firms are most impressed with firms like most, is the ability to communicate clearly. And acronyms, most of the time, are not the way to do it. Instead, use plain English to talk about your role, responsibilities, and accomplishments. Talk about how much you help the firm earn or save. If you're in a technology field, you have to use a certain number of acronyms because that's really what the technology is. It's a buzzword or an acronym that was developed by a vendor. But ultimately, what you want to be talking about is role, responsibilities, accomplishments. If you have to use technology, if you're in a space that requires technology, indicate it and what you helped accomplish. So, don't send out these boring acronym-laden resumes that you think are keyword-rich, but are really just designed. You get someone to look at them, but the thing is not about looking at your resume. It's about getting interviews. It's about getting hired. And what firms are going to want to be looking for is role, responsibilities, accomplishments, maybe the technology that you've used if you're in that kind of a field, how much money you help the firm make or save, and in plain English. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, I've got a lot that's in the show notes that will help you. Go there, take a look at some of the things I highlight. I know it can help you with your search. But I want you to do one thing for me, and that is put in your phone thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman, my name. And when you need help, when you need advice, when you have a question, come over to the website, go exploring in the blog, contact me for coaching or because you have a question. I'd love to help you. In the meantime, I hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great! Have you been struggling on your interviews? Are you not getting the results that you want? My course, my book, my Kindle book, The Ultimate Job Interview Framework, will help you dramatically improve your performance. Now, if you'd like the course, it's a video course that I offer through Udemy. You can order it at thebiggamehunter.us or as a paperback or Kindle book on Amazon. What the course will teach you is really very simple. The best question to ask on an interview and when to ask it. How to answer the question, tell me about yourself, far better than anyone else would ever answer it. In addition, you'll be able to tell stories that connect the dots with the interviewer about how your background fits the role and be able to ask questions that are going to allow you not to step into the minefield that you've been in too many times before in your job search and in your career. So again, it's called the Ultimate Job Interview Framework. It's available on Udemy. That's udemy.com. Or you could go to my course directly at thebiggamehunter.us/interviews. Again, available inexpensively as a course or as a paperback or Kindle book on Amazon. Now let's get back to the show.